to jail. Welcome to my review for this week's episode of IzuOcha Final Season, man. What an episode, man. 429 has finally been adapted in the anime, and I could not ask for a better adaptation. Now, you guys know that I have mentioned this ad nauseum since the final season has started, probably even going into the PV reactions. I have said countless times that I wanted Haruka Ida to direct the episode. I wanted her to storyboard the episode. And I wanted her to animate this entire sequence because, of course, of her style, and you guys know how much I love her work. Well, that did not happen with this episode, ladies and gentlemen, on any front. Haruka Ida did not work on this episode in any capacity. But we arguably got something better. We had Kenji Nagasaki on the storyboard for this episode, which if you guys do not know, he was the original series director for IzuOcha up until season 3. That's when he became the chief director, more or less just directed and storyboarded the first trilogy of films. And after that, he was for movie 4, he was only credited as an animation advisor. Whatever the fuck that means. So yeah, we have not seen him in a minute on IzuOcha, man. And the last time he even storyboarded an episode of the actual anime was back at season 3. And I believe the last episode, season 3, was the last episode of the TV anime he actually storyboarded. So he got to return, man. We learned that Hirota was the animator in charge of the IzuOcha sequence, man. Pretty much, I think he did like either most or the entire thing, man. I forget how much of it he actually animated, so I haven't checked I haven't looked at Sakuramura yet to know the full sequence, but he worked on that part of the episode, man. We also had Nakamura, yes, the Cube Man, the GOAT, Yutapon himself, Yutaka Nakamura, was credited as a second key animator for this episode. And yes, Nakamura did in fact make an appearance on IzuOcha, and just like with Gachiaka, we have no idea where the fuck he's at. People have theorized where Nakamura had actually appeared. Like, I have one tweet when the first time I know about this was Fang, when he posted the credits about Yutapon being on the episode as a second. I was like, is this a joke? Is he serious, man? And he said, yeah, it is. And the person credited mentioned that it might have been either that Nakamura might have been either at the head tilt, or when Uraraka turns to Izuku, or when Izuku was rushing towards him. Like that opening sequence they suspect might have been Nakamura. Looking at it, man, I don't know if it doesn't really look like Nakamura style. Like, Nakamura has a very distinct style with his key animation, man, which I'm not really seeing it here, man, but there's a good chance maybe, that he just this is very quick stuff, man. Like, and so who knows if this opening bit is in fact Nakamura doing some second key animation. I don't know. I'm looking at it right now. I'm not really seeing any Nakamura-isms. Like, I'm not seeing no deep dark shadows, man. Izuku doesn't look particularly ultra muscular, man. They might have just had to do through some quick like character acting here, man, and called it a day, man, because he was busy obviously with Gachiaka, the storyboarding that massive sequence, man. But yeah, so we did in fact get the double feature with Gachiaka, which is really nice that we got that, man. But just like with Gachiaka, we have no idea where he actually is, what part he himself actually animated, man. But people claim that's around here, man. So hey, that's awesome. That in fact both that Yutapon and Hirota got to animate this sequence and both worked on it. That is fucking awesome, man. That we actually got Nakamura on it, which is funny. And I mentioned this in my reaction to the episode, man, which obviously I filmed. Which also, by the way, I've literally, like, everyone's been talking about this episode. I've literally heard nothing about the dub for this week, man. I haven't seen any tweets about anything about anyone mentioning that if they actually did change the line back to its original meaning rather than the whole it make a great hero name. Plus, I think it's kind of cute thing. I don't know if they switched it back. Everyone has just been tweeting about this episode, man. I have not seen anything about the dub so far, man, but that might change. Anyway, as I was saying, I remember, like, once we had gotten past the episode with Izuku Rising, and that was the final big action-heavy episode, when we still hadn't seen Nakamura yet, I was like, I wonder where he could appear. And, like, probably pretend to might do some character acting somewhere, man. I threw out the joke, like, oh, what if he's the one drawing Izuku running to Uraraka, man? And then a second one that popped in my head that I don't think I ever mentioned this on camera, but I thought about and thought maybe this might be his period, was that shot of was Izuku rushing towards Uraraka to go help her. to go help her and be there for her and help her as she is, crying and very emotional and everything with the mourning the loss of Toga and all that jazz. And now, and I actually thought that, like, because you guys know I'm an anime, but I don't say I've known about this sequence, man. I've known about it, but I never read the full chapter, man, because I was using that time on anime, but I always saw about. But when it dropped, everyone was talking about it on Twitter. But anyway, as I was saying, I did not know the full sequence, man, so I thought that there was like a little bit where Izuku like maybe sense something with Uraraka or something, like we would have actually got to see Izuku like jumping to Uraraka, man. That's like when I thought that Nakamura might appear, was him thinking, or was when he finally gets that hunch or whatever that Uraraka's in trouble and jumps over to use one fall to go and save her. I thought that, but we don't get that. He literally just pops out of nowhere, man. And like, I was also sad to see that easily my favorite shot, which was one of the shots that Horikoshi had expanded upon in the volume release compared to the original episode, compared to the original chapter release in Shonen Jump, was that close-up shot of Izuku's shoe as he's run towards Uraraka. That's unfortunate here, man. That was such a gorgeous shot, man. Also just from the detail of Izuku's shoe, man. Like, Horikoshi, man, the man is fucking insane. And I would love to see that shot get adapted from the episode, but unfortunately it got cut out. That shot did not get adapted, which sucks, man. But hey, that's a very minor criticism compared to the rest of the episode, man. I would have loved to see that shot in there, man. It was such a beautiful shot, but alas, it did in fact get cut. But yeah, so that's fucking awesome, man. The episode itself was incredible, man. Incredible compositing, just art direction in general, man. This episode was just stunning to look at, man. Seriously. And yeah, man, I got nothing else to say, man. I've rambled on long enough, so let's join. Also, guys, one other thing I mentioned. You guys know that also tonight is also Deadline, NXT, man. I hate WWE and AEW doing pay-per-views and back-to-back weeks, man. It's so fucking annoying, man. I get like a week off or something. They always do it during like big episodes too. It's never like small episodes, man. Like it's always during like big episodes, man, which is so fucking annoying. But anyway, guys, there's a delayed review, that's why. Anyway, let's just jump right in. So we start the episode off with Gento and La Brava finally being reunited again. Well, I guess they were reunited before they jumped in on this. So keep going. They're reunited again. They're all happy, man. Great character acting here, man. Although, unfortunately, this cut doesn't have any animators credited on it at the time of this recording. So let me just check one. Let me refresh Sakaburo real quick just to see if anyone is actually listed for this yet. Yeah, no, still no one has been credited for this part of the episode, man. But yeah, we then jump over to Hawks and Lady Nagam, man. Once again, incredible sequence, man, here, man, with some great character acting here, man. And just overall, just amazing compositing and art direction, man. I love the lighting. I love the lighting here, man. Just looks incredible. Once again, we have no animators credited on this cut at the current moment. But basically, while Gento and La Brava, they're back, they're free, they're out into the world again, chilling, reunited, doing that thing. Lady Nagam's gonna stay in prison or this hospital, wherever the hell she's staying at. I'm wanting to see what the change Izuku block actually show itself, and then she'll get out. And so she's like, so then she'll say, I'll let her tag her theme to your wild log, but she's like, and Nox says, you villain. Which I also gotta say real quick, man, bro. I just gotta say, man, I don't know how many times I've said this previously in regards to Lady Nagam, man, in season 7 as well as season 6. But damn, is she fine, bro? Like this shot, like this part right here, man, where she said she'll let the taxpayers fear a little more, man. My God, she looking fine as hell, man. Damn. Seriously, man, she is hot. Anyway. Looking bad as hell, man. Seriously, man, the lighting here is so good, man. She looks incredible, man. The drawing's here is great. Hopefully, sooner rather than later, we get some animators credit. We get some confirmations on who did this, man. Because this sequence was incredible. Anyway, so we then get to the OP, man. Now, you guys know I theorized that because of the OP, we had the extra shot of those two random, side characters that mean nothing, that they were going to change it again for this episode to add IzuOcha in there, man. And then again for 431 for that episode. Well, at the very least for this episode, man, no change, man. It's the same one. They just used the same shot of the kids holding hands. They did not change it to add Izuku to Uraraka holding hands, which I wish they did, man. That would have been really fucking sick. But alas, they did not. Well, will that happen for 431, assuming it is this OVA episode, man? Perhaps, maybe. Which, you guys know, I'm pretty sure I've said this before in previous videos, but like I said, I want 431 to get an episode all to itself, and I don't want to be mixed with 430 just because I feel with that episode, with that chapter, man, it deserves to be its own standalone episode. I feel like there's enough content in there, man, for it to be a standalone episode by itself. That's the only thing that's adapted. Now, at the same time, though, I don't want it to be the OVA because you guys know the Bakudekos and we're going to be back to square one. The Bakudekos be like, oh, it's an OVA, it's not canon. It's not canon. It's an OVA. It's not part of the full season. It's OVA. It's not canon, man. We'll be right back where they're denying it, man, saying it's not canon when it is, just because it's an OVA or it's the epilogue, man. We're going to be the same. So for that reason, I don't want it as an OVA, man. I want it to be part of the actual, main season. But if it's an OVA, it's an OVA, man. Now, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong though, but I'm pretty sure when the documentary had dropped in May from NHK, that someone had noticed in tweeting the background, like in the background search, they could tell the last thing that the title for the last episode was going to be more. Whether that is going to be the OVA or the OVA is secretly a front to get around leakers, and that in this quote unquote OVA is actually a secret 12th episode for a 1 hour special next week where we're going to get episode 11 and 12 back to back like with Dragon Ball and Bleach Styles and your Blood War. I don't know. A part of me wants it to be revealed that this was all a front, and we are going to get a 12th episode, and that's what this OVA actually is, man, for an hour-long special. I don't know. We don't know, but apparently they're doing something with this OVA where it's actually screening in theaters as well, which, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of hoping the OVA is its own standalone, separate thing where if all the guys as adults, man, and everything, man, we kind of continue on from that. Maybe give us a little bit more IzuOcha good, maybe throw us a Baku cameo in there. That didn't hurt nobody. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see next week, man, if it's revealed that this quote-unquote leaked OVA is actually a front for a 12th episode, or 431 is the OVA. We don't know. I'm kind of hoping it's not, but if it is, hey, whatever. So anyway, back to the actual episode itself. So we're now back. So now we have this news broadcast which I think might be the same news broadcast that did that whole thing for Stain from season 2. I could be wrong, but just the look of it, everything, man, it reminds me a lot of when that happened with Stain and the news started broadcasting this stuff, man. That the league got started and everything, man, back in season 2. Now, so we get a bunch of ransom villains asking, like, oh, well, they're thinking Shigaraki. They're like, oh, I'm so glad they got rid of him, man. That I lost a friend. Thinks that cold-blooded killer, man. Which, not gonna lie, she's kind of bad too. Well, listen, man, when it says, man, she's like 21 apparently. College student too. She's kind of bad. Not gonna lie, I think she's kind of cute, man. She's up. Well, her friend is just like nodding. That's like nodding behind her, man. Then she interjects herself, man. We see this old woman that's a housewife that's 7 years old. I don't know if this is the same woman that, Shigaraki had saw. It's like, I'm sure there's a hero coming out because, to jump a little bit ahead, man, she does actually have some significance in these last couple of episodes. So, I'm not sure if that's her. I don't think it is, but that would be interesting. It actually ends up being her from because she says, couldn't this have been prevented somehow? Makes you think. I like that. The way she said makes you think that might be her, but I'm not entirely sure if that actually is her or not. Anyway, they'll see a restaurant manager as well, saying like that they thought he was a thug, nobody could imagine he was such a threat, etc., etc. So then we're back to the civilians. So then the news broadcast continues on with narration about how the restoration work is going, and it's proceeding rapidly thanks to volunteers and international aid. But they still got a lot of work to do. As we see one part of the same man that is just absolutely destroyed, man, rubble everywhere, man, just shit everywhere, man. It's an absolute disaster. So then we get over back to the hospital, man, where Izuku meets up with Spinner. And once again, man, the art direction here, man, is phenomenal, man. I love the lighting in this used in this room, man. I know you guys know that like one of the biggest complaints for Hero Walkman, they always mention about the art direction isn't that good or the compositing ain't that great. So it looks very basic. It's like, oh, it doesn't look like Jujutsu Kaisen or whatnot, man. I always thought those were bullshit. I've always thought the anime looked fine, but yeah, this definitely does look pretty amazing, man. These last that we have seen season 7 as well as season 8 as well, man. The compositing and overall art direction, man, has been truly spectacular. Anyway, so they both sit down at the table, man. The Dr. Toad, which I don't know if you ever get his name, but I'm just gonna call Dr. Toad because he has a mushroom on his head, man. We know them. These were all meant to be Mario references. But anyway, because he had turned into a Nomu, but thanks to their ongoing research on Nomu, they were able to cure him or to get him under control narrowly. They were narrowly able to get him back to his normal form, man, so he wouldn't be stuck as a Nomu. So when they sit down, man, Spinner immediately says, "What brings you waltzing right in here, murderer?" Whether that's in relation to Shigaraki, or I literally just saw a tweet about this right before I started recording. Someone mentioning about back in with movie 3 with the news report saying that Izuku was wanted for mass murder. So I don't know. So I'm sure it's referring to Shigaraki, but still, that was kind of funny. And so then he gives Spinner the message about like Tomo Shigaraki fought fought to destroy until the very end. And he's got confused. He's like, Shigaraki told you to say that? He said, yeah, to you. He asked him, like, what about Toga and Caprez and Dabi? He says, nah, just you. Spinner says that Shigaraki was his hope. He smiled and said, let's destroy everything. At Denki, he showed me a twisted horizon. He was my spokesperson. And then he taught, and then he starts transforming again. He's saying that he was persecuted as being a heteromorph, and just when he nearly gave up, that's when he showed him a dream, man. So he's basically fully transformed at this point. The Dr. Toda's like, you don't have to take this, I'll restrain. And then Izuku like stops him, man. We get the exact same shot that was meme to hell when this chapter initially dropped. Man, I remember so many people use this as a meme image of Izuku with his hand up, man. So many times when this chapter initially dropped, like what, last year, might have been the year before. So yeah, that was pretty cool that once again that it is here and accounted for, man. So that's pretty cool to actually see it in the anime, man. It is a pretty funny shot. But anyway, now Spinner is fully transformed, man. He's now has Izuku in his grasp, man, saying that Shigaraki was his hero. Oh, and one other thing before we continue on the episode, I forgot to mention earlier. I don't know if this is like another one of Crunchyroll fuck-ups, man, or this is just, you know, how it translates, man. But when he says yes to you, in the subtitles it says yes to you, but in the actual audio you can hear him straight up say Spinner. Now, like I said, I am by no means a linguistics or someone that knows how to speak Japanese or whatnot, man. So I don't know if this is just like, you know, how it translates, man. But I thought it was a little bit hard. The subtitle says yes to you while he clearly says Spinner. I thought it sounded a little bit weird. Like I said, I don't speak Japanese, so I don't know if this is a fuck up or this is just how the line translated, man. I'm more likely wrong. This is how the line translates because, like I said, I don't speak Japanese. But that kind of like caught me by surprise. Wait, why does he say that? And he clearly said Spinner in the audio, man. I was a little confused by that. But anyway, as I was saying. And then he starts crying, saying how he only played video games, that Shigaraki played video games. They played a lot of the same game, man, which I imagine was League of Legends was at the top of that list, man. And either also about Spinner save sounded great, yeah, I must say as well. Izuku then continues on saying that deep inside heart, to out the League of Villains, he thought Shigaraki wanted him to know that as well. And this is when he finally starts to transform back to his normal form. And Spinner says that he got caught up in the mania and lost track of the notion that there's no turning back. I've always been so slow to pick up on things. If I had taken one more step forward, could I have saved my hero? And then we get back to the news. Here's some more narration from the news broadcast saying that that there's a second or third, you know, Shigaraki or All for One waiting for their chance, etc., etc., etc. We have to wait. We have to watch that. We have to watch the next threat. And then this is when Izuku starts leaving. Spinner, there you go. Spinner says that your heroes are still gonna keep fighting, right? Smiles on your faces. Someday you'll figure out Tomura and the League of Villains. So he's gonna write a book, basically write a biography on Shigaraki, telling his story, the symbol of fear. He said he won't let because he won't let the past, you know, waste to fade away, man. Izuku tells them they should make it a comic book, which confuses Spinner. He says, don't worry, we will not forget. And the shot of Izuku, the close-up, man, fucking incredible once again. The drawings of this episode, man, were superb. And then Spinner looks to the side, I'm assuming at Dr. Toe, or might just look at the wall saying, it might be nice to at least have illustrations, man. Where Spinner's gonna find artists to do his book, I don't know, bro. He might have to go international for that one, man. I don't know if there's anyone in Japan that's a decent artist that would actually agree to spend, let's say, like a pen name or something. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, Izuku meets back up with the detective as well as Alma, now clean shaven after 3 seasons. The dude finally shaved. Like, goddamn, bro. And this is when we get back to Overhaul for, I'm assuming, his last bit of screen time in the series, which I'm happy to see Overhaul got some last bit of screen time, man, which means I'll get to hear more of Kel and Jeff when this episode airs in the dub, man, which I'm very happy about. So we see that that Overhaul's boss, or his dad, basically, is alive and kicking. He has come out of his coma. How? Who knows? We do see, if you pay attention, he's connected to seemingly some sort of apparatus or something on his chest. Like, you can see, like, some sort of, like, canister on the back of his wheelchair, man. I'm not entirely sure how this works, because, like, if I remember correctly, all Overhaul did was put him in a coma. I don't know what he did to him, man, but it seems like whatever support item they got him hooked up to seems to be working. So, of course, he's crying, bawling his eyes out, apologizing to the boss. He tells him that, he He tells them that he's no longer the boss, but there's no more Yakuza, and support lines have gotten better and better. And then he tells them that you strayed from the straight and narrow, and look where that gave you, and look where that left you. I was always willing to give you a helping hand. I bet Kurono never gave you a good scolding. So like I said, he's crying, bawling his eyes out, apologizing to him for everything he's done, man. His seiyuu sounded amazing here, man. I cannot wait to hear Kellen's version of this, man. And he says, it's too late. Spend the rest of your life apologizing to Eri. She'll forget about you, but don't you ever forget what you did to her. Never fear. I'll keep scolding you till the kid. So it doesn't seem like he's like abandoning him and be like, fuck you. I'm done, man. I'm done with you. He seems like he will continue to stick around him and like, I guess, help raise him or whatever, man, or just be by his side, man. So he's not gonna be, so it's not like overall being completely abandoned. He's now completely alone. It seems like he'll still have his pops around him until he dies or whatever. But that was cool. That was a cool scene, man. I was happy to see overall get some last minute screen time, man. And he sounded amazing. Like I said, I look forward to hearing California. So we get back to Izuku carting away All Might on his wheelchair, man. And Izuku's wondering like, how do we stop this from happening again? And then Suguchi says they don't. Then All Might makes a joke like, oh, maybe we have Hawks create a boatload of heroes. He's like, well, Hawks can do it. He says no. He mentions of course that the new students are being in their classes today, so they can't be going to school with down their faces. And Izuku meant to other upperclassmen. They're from different classes, from different years, so they don't really mix a lot. They won't be able to see each other much. And this is when we cut to an array of fanboys and fangirls, mostly girls, fawning over and chasing after like fucking K-pop stars, chasing down Bakugo and Todoroki. Bakugo is saying to expel them all, and then we see them both hiding behind Ida, as Ida is scolding them for telling them to back the fuck off, learn some fucking boundaries, and give them some damn space. Damn. I was going to say all that, man, but they first go over oh, I saw him in a broadcast battle with All For One, man. I've been admiring him since the sports festival, etc., 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 etc. He tells that being hounded by a girl would alarm anyone, though Todoroki says that he's willing to talk to them one by one. And Bakugo comes out of his other shoulder, out the other side of Ida, saying that they were running in the hallways, running class rep, like he's trying to snitch on them to get them to I don't know, scream at them or something. I don't know what exactly Bakugo's trying to do by telling them they were running in the hallway. And they says we must follow the rules. They haven't recovered yet. Which the look at they're like, oh, they're all shocked by this. I'm like, what, you thought they were wandering? I'm like, did that thought really not cross any of y'all's mind? These two have been in an absolute war zone. You thought they were already 100%, man? This made no damn sense. Y'all really that dumb? So they're obviously flabbergasted by this, man. And then they start apologizing. He's like, I'm sorry, what was I thinking? And then we get to this bizarre bit where Shinso mentions that he thought Bakugo always loved adoring fans. And I'm like, when the fuck was this ever established, man? Because as far as I know, Bakugo has always hated people in general, fans or not, man. So I don't know why Shinso got this idea that he loved having adoring fans or something, man. I was very confused. But if any of you guys can point to wherever this comes from, please let me know. If this is from a light novel or something, I'm very confused. And of course, Mineta and Kaminari are both extremely salty by this fact that all the ladies are fawning over Bakugo and not them, man. Mineta especially. So Bakugo finally got him to fuck off, and the rest of the first year started to run away. Right before that, one of them came in there saying that Izuku gave them courage and thanks them very much. We hear a heartbeat sound effect with a shot spinner as Izuku says, sure. And then Mineta starts crying blood again while he's grabbing Bakugo's tie, telling him he cannot stand the fact that the delinquent has fangirls. My soul cries in protest. We then get this gorgeous shot of Uraraka, and seriously, she looks so fucking beautiful here, man. We cut back to Aizawa and Present Mind, where they get another interview request for 2A. They say no, and then Ectoplasm comes there asking don't some of them want to be interviewed like Mineta? Because of course Mineta would love to be interviewed. He'd be interviewed by anybody. He would be happy to be interviewed by anybody. But it seems like they can't get the students they have to get the entire classes group. They can't get single students by themselves to get for the interviews, seemingly because IzuOcha says no to this man, and like I said, Ectoplasm says that some of them would like to interview like Mineta, and he says but some of them don't, and those take priority. So I'm assuming that they can only or maybe they just want Class A, or maybe they just want Class 2A in particular, like collectively, man. So I'm not entirely sure if they can get them if they're like that they are sold exclusively as a group, like you have to either all of them or you get none of them, man, or what? This is when we come back over to some random back to the restoration of the city, man, where Class A is all decked out in the hero costume, man. Izuku is now rocking some new compression sleeves because obviously his old ones, I guess, broke from the. Oh yeah, they did break from the battle. Bakugo is now has this weird thing on where he's looking like Steph Curry this season, man, where he has one arm is completely bare while the other one has a full sleeve going on there, man, and wearing the actual short sleeve shirt that some NBA players wear, but it's all connected to with an arm sleeve, so it's all one full sleeve, man, on one side, while the other side is just bare like a normal jersey and everything, man. Nothing on there, man. I don't know. I'm assuming that's meant to be a compression sleeve for his arm because obviously his arm is still fucked up. But I'm not sure why he's where it seems like it's one half of his hero costume is his winter outfit, the rest is his summer. I don't know. It just looks weird, man. I'm why is it designed like this, man? Why? I thought he fully switched over to just wearing his winter costume, which also is way better if you ask me. So. Don't know what this is good. Why also his shoulder was also covered by his winter outfit, while the rest of his arm is his summer outfit, man. Just how it's about art. Also, Best Jeans is now rocking black, and it looks fire. So they continue on working the restoration, man. Baku runs into Ed Shaman, who is now recovering slowly. Now he has arms, and Baku asks him if he's ever going to go back to normal. He said, and Ed Shaman says he's not settling for less. Bakugo sort of gets a small little smile out of him, man, a little bit, which was cool to see, man. We also get to see Bakugo's new scar, man, as well. We finally get to see what his scar looks like. Then the random civilians that I'm assuming live in this area come in there saying that, hey, lunch is ready, and they had a bunch of onigiri ready for them, man. Which, also, if you guys were listening and paying attention, that I am 90% certain, no, I'm not, I am certain, I'm 100% certain that the old dude with the jagged teeth or whatever, I see horns coming out of his head or whatever, is voiced by All Might Seiyu, which I'm sure, bringing in voice actors to voice random background and side characters is nothing new for Japanese voiceover as well. You guys know the dubs, they typically do someone's in the studio, man, they'll usually, depending on how much time they have left or whatever, they'll usually throw them in there to either record background for that episode or perhaps for another show they just happen to be in the building. Most recently, Clifford popped in for some background characters in Spy Family or something But for Japanese seiyus, I have never really seen it, or at the very least, I've never been able to recognize them because it's just easy to recognize things because I speak native language and I'm more familiar with them compared to Seiyu. But immediately I heard that, I'm that is All Might Seiyu voicing this random character. I don't know if that's happened before where they've had Uraraka Seiyu, Izuku Seiyu, Bakugo, All Might, etc. come in there and voice random background characters for a particular episode as well, or this is the first time he's done this for IzuOcha or not. But I thought that was interesting that he showed that he showed up for a random background character in this. This is the first time I've ever heard that. But anyway, so they get in there, man. He mentions how they used to live. He mentions how his land was blown to bits during all fighting. Izuku he's oh, I'm sorry. It's no, I'm not saying just to cast blame. We just couldn't stand around moping around when we saw how hard you guys were working. We won't leave it all to others. We'll help out with the rebuilding too. So then a random other bus comes in there from UA, comes in there. I was what the fuck? There's no other bus coming here. We find out that it's actually Cementos and his class from the first years, the same first years we saw earlier on in the episode. And Kaminari's oh my, the first years are so extra. And he said that they insisted to come over here and apologize. And so they want to be helpful and help with the restoration efforts as well, even though they don't have license. And he says they'll do the light work and off to the side till they don't get in the 7 years way. So they're shocked. They're all under Kirishima and Ojiro are all the underclassmen this weird? They will not let this go, man. They will go. They refuse to let this go. So then we come back over to Izuku, Uraraka, and Sue, where Sue notices something about Uraraka, and she's kind of just staring off into space. And so she's puts on the brave face again, and be oh, sorry about that, Sue. What do you want, Izuku? And he said mustard greens. What the fuck are mustard greens? I have no idea. I've never heard of it. Are they greens with mustard on them? Why the fuck are they called mustard greens? That doesn't make any sense. Whatever. whatever the case may be. So she goes on, but like, oh, I like mustard greens too. Does a little twirl, which also great, man. Just super cute, man. But she just waffling nonsense at this point, man. Just be like, just waffling nonsense, boy. Just putting on her brave face. She also goes on about pickled plums are the best, but she's just waffling nonsense, man. Just as she puts on the brave face. Which once again, Izuku sees right through her genjins. We cut over to nighttime, or we're cutting where everyone knows where they're wondering what Uraraka is. They see how she went off for home, and Sue mentions how she's not checking her texts. We then cut back over back to the fight itself with Uraraka and Toga, where we find out that none of this got filmed, nothing was shown, man, because the camera's battery had died. Which I had known about this, man. I've seen a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people talk about this one thing about nothing getting filmed. Which I also gotta think it's kind of bullshit that like nothing got filmed, that Uraraka didn't get her moment in the sun, man, with her fight with Toga. I thought that was always kind of bullshit that, you know, nothing from her fight got filmed. But anyway, we return to the cliffside. We have finally reached the cliff. The highlight of the episode, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, we have reached the moment that I have been waiting for. My second most anticipated episode of the season, man. So, Uraraka, she's standing over the cliff, man, overlooking the city, man, where she mentioned the view is back to what it used to be. She says the situation isn't getting better ever since that day. Like, shadows getting longer as the sun goes down. But unlike then, now it's really all over. As we get like ran flashback to the earlier seasons, it's all been settled, and that's a relief. It's time to be cheerful and regain our optimism. I like it best when everyone is smiling. I don't want to spoil it. And I love the way this was directed, where as we get this panning shot of the city, we get to see Uraraka's vision slowly start to blur, and we see her entire eye is welling up, man. She's like, yeah, she's about to start crying, man. It was a truly beautiful shot, man. She starts grabbing at her side, which I'm assuming is where her scar is at. I'm pretty sure it's about there. That's why, again, I'll keep a lid on this pain that won't go away. We then get a flashback to Toga, which I'm pretty sure this was on season 7, but this might be new footage, where she says, Ochaka, all you had to do was act like a hero and do what was right, but you thought of other things. We're at Uraraka, where she starts to crumble and start to lean and start to fall over as she starts crying. I love seeing happiness on people's faces. That's why I said to be a hero. Yeah, here I am, still alive at the cause of Himiko's life. What I've done is, this is when she starts crying, and then that's when our boy Izuku shows up in this shot when Uraraka turns her head to look at him, man. Great animation, man. Great character acting here, man. The hair animation looks great, man. Phenomenal. If this is where Nakamura was, hey. But like I said, at the time of this recording, we still do not know where Nakamura plays. Let me just check something on the board real quick to see if anything's been updated for the episode at all yet. Yeah, nothing. No new updates on this post yet about where Nakamura is placed. So, like I said, we're still MIA where he is. Anyway, and like I said, man, I wish that we kept the shot the close on Izuku's shoes he's running towards it, because I thought it was such an amazing double bait spread in the manga. And I wish it was stuck in the anime, but ended up getting cutting out. So Izuku calls out to her as he runs towards her, man. I love the animation here, man. Obviously, we get like the little dust here, and you can see the lightning from one fall as Izuku rushes towards her, man. Animation here just looks amazing right here in its opening bit. And nice like fabric animation too on Uraraka. You see it like scrunching up, and she puts her arms up there to cover her face, man. Great art animation. So she asked him, she asked him how he knew where you were, and he said he had a hunch so he flew here using One for All, because this is where they had their important conversation. What I meant, and she says what I meant said I was going home for now. Izuku says I would have been fine if you had, but I had a feeling you'd be here. And she asks him like, why though? I don't want to be seen. Izuku apologizes, but I don't want you to hide this. Izuku says that she's always been this way. Even at the entrance exam, we get a flashback to season 1 where she says like, it's bad luck for if you fell over, so I hope so. I didn't think you would mind. And then mentions when he found that, and then said when he found out the results, and flashback to when Uraraka was offering Izuku her points. Always this whole time, when we get to the scene about Deku selling the Japanese word like you can do, which, once again, I have seen nothing from the dub, so I do not know if this got changed back. Surely it did. I swear, surely this got changed back, man. Surely. We will see when I watch the dub episode, man. Maybe tomorrow I might be able to squeeze it in tonight, depending on when deadline ends, but I'll probably be till tomorrow. But we'll see whenever I watch the dub to see if this got changed back or not. Well, we shall see. We shall see. Then we cut over to when she had like saved them in the Black with further reverse, and then again we got to see part season 6 where she was like, "Let this place be Kitty's hero camp," which I'm pretty sure this is new footage. This is new footage because I do not think we ever saw this closer shot of Uraraka in the anime in the episode season 6. It was a wide shot when she says, "Man," so I'm pretty sure that this is never before seen newly animated footage, and it's fucking awesome. Anyway, IzuOcha is saying you've always prioritized others over yourself. Every time you're at the sports festival, you're constantly bailing me out. You're my hero. Fucking cinema, man. I've waited to hear this line. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ow. I really hurt my arm with those last, man. Son of a bitch, that got hurt. Anyway. So yeah, and also we got of course to state the obvious, man. Daiki and Uraraka's seiyus are fucking brilliant here, man. Like, I especially love here, man, when Izuku finally goes to grab her hand. He says holding hands could be enough to ease pain. He like really softens his voice for her, man. And like, I love it, man. I love it, man. Justin, Lucy, it's your turn now. It's the new ADR director working on IzuOcha. Bro, you better not fuck this up or I'ma fucking kill you, bro. I will find you. I will come down to Texas. I will find wherever you're living in Dallas or in the surrounding area, and I will kill you. But as you guys know, the dub has been phenomenal, man. Like, the dude, we don't even know that there has been a director's change, man. He's done a great job with it, man. If you told me Michael's still directing, I would have believed you. So he's done a great job. So, but hopefully, like I said, you better not fuck this up. I know Lucy and Justin will be fine, man. You're the outlier here, man. It is up to you to not fuck this up. Anyway, we'll see what after the dub of this episode airs, man, which I'm very much looking forward to, man. And yeah, man, the music here is also incredible as well. Which is no surprise from Yuki Hayashi. Also, I also gotta say, like the music, I think I forgot to mention this, but there was also a track I think playing near like the opening of the episode. Man, I forget exactly where it was. I think it was like right here, right before Izuku went over to see Spider-Man. The song they played right there, man, was phenomenal, man. I think it's where it was somewhere near the opening of the episode. Either way, there was a new track, man, which I think the soundtrack is about to release as well, because Yuki Hayashi showed up the full album cover art for it. So it looks like we'll be getting the full soundtrack of the season very soon, which I'm looking forward to. But yeah, man, this was incredible, man. This also got expanded upon in the manga from the manga as well, which we'll talk a little bit about in a second. But yeah, man, such an incredible scene here, man. Anyway, Izuku says that's why I won't just keep relying on your own strength. This, of course, when he grabs her hand, and finally Uraraka just lets it all out, man. And the character acting here was absolutely sublime. Now, as I mentioned before, Koei Hirota, this was Koei Hirota's cut, as well as apparently Nakamura worked this as well. But we also had another anime by the name of Miyu Nakano, whose cut was from here. Was basically up to when he's from the closer to Izuku as he goes up to Uraraka to basically the entire rest of this, man, with the character acting and everything, man, from Uraraka, man. So this this whole sequence, so this whole bit with the character acting, the incredible character acting, is all Miyu Nakano was the actor behind this part, where the first half was done by Koei Hirota and maybe Nakamura as well, which, you know, still up in the air where that was. Anyway, so yeah, man, she just lets all about Himiko, about her fault is dying, like I said. Uraraka Seiyu was incredible, man, and just the character acting here is so. This is like I am biased saying this, I know, but this is easily some of the best character acting I've ever seen, and definitely IzuOcha, man. Truly spectacular work here, man. Like, no lie, man. Like, a part of me wants to do an animation breakdown this episode, like, separately on Twitter. Like, not gonna lie, a part of me wants to do that. Because I love this episode so much, and this episode was just so beautiful that I almost feel like I have to. But if I do that, I'm gonna wait for the dub, just so I can go on about Lucy and, you know, Justin. So I think I'll wait on doing this until the dub episode drops, just so I can make a separate post just gushing about Lucy and Justin. So we'll probably have to wait on that one for a bit. But anyway, yeah, she goes on about it's all her fault if she hadn't gotten stabbed, you know, etc. etc. You guys watch the episode, you know what the scene is, man. You know what she says, man. It's fucking incredible, man. And Uraraka's like bearing his head, which if you guys remember, if you guys are anime, this actually got expanded upon the manga, because actually in just the manga, let me see if I can find the tweet. I think I bookmarked it, but I'm not entirely sure if I did. Yes, I did. In the manga, basically the only contact Izuku and Uraraka had was just them grabbing their hands together as Uraraka's crying. That's about it. While in the anime, she is burying her head into Izuku's shoulder, man. Like, they get real up close and personal, and you love to see it, man. So, thank you, Studio C, for expanding on this episode to give us even more content. Thank you. But anyway, Izuku continues on after Uraraka's done balling, saying that he's been asked to say anything about Shigaraki. I knew that I couldn't tackle that battle the same way as the others. And then Izuku and Uraraka look into each other's eyes, man, and it looks like they're about to kiss, man. Yo, shout out! I gotta give a massive shout out to this dude, man, an absolute Giga Chad legend here, man, of an admin, where let me see if I can find the tweet. It should be shouldn't be that far ahead. I think it was Anime TV is the Twitter account is what it's called. Yeah, Anime TV made a post about this one, showing off these three shots of showing off these close-up shots of Izuku and Uraraka looking at each other, where he said, "Clear his throat, now kiss." Which, mind you, this is not a small guy. This dude got 1.5 million followers on Twitter, man. And when the fan base that big, the Baku, there's gonna be some cross pollution, cross contamination. I don't know what the exact cross something. I forget the exact word I'm looking for. But Baku Deku's, man. So they be salty about it, man. And everyone's making jokes about this on Twitter. And straight up, it is happening. Literally, I mentioned this when I reacted to the episode, man. But there's this one fucking bitch in the IzuOcha Temple Discord that I genuinely question why she's even there. I'm 90% sure she's a Baku Deku first, and IzuOcha at a distant 10th or something, man. All this woman talks about is Baku Deku. That's all she posts, man. She doesn't add any anything new to the discussion in just the IzuOcha chats that I personally follow. Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't really use a Discord like that, and I mostly just stick in the IzuOcha channels. Not gonna lie, I'm telling you guys right now. So just to give context, but yeah, she posted Baku Deku. Literally, the first mention of her that I saw of her one was just randomly where she made a massive ass thread, talking about if IzuOcha is can, then one side Baku Deku is also can, giving all this bullshit explanation. And the first piece of evidence she used was one of Jason Yao's fan Genkas. Immediately, I knew she was full of shit. And then there's been other posts she's made that have just been bizarre. I'm why are you posting this here in IzuOcha Discord? Why are you here? And, this was one of the times where she was kind of going up and why would they kiss here? She's crying her eyes out at Survivor's Guild. There's no reason for her to be kissing. I'm bitch, can you not take a fucking joke? Jesus Christ. Seriously, man. Anyway. But yeah, that aside, man, this was an incredible sequence, man. And yeah, I do wish they kissed. I do wish they did. And Izuku continues on saying, even All For One told me that the path I've chosen is a thorny one. But even so, even if it's none of our business, if we keep extending helping hand, I'm sure it'll matter. And then we get these gorgeous close-up shots of Izuku and Uraraka. And Uraraka especially, man. She looks so fucking beautiful here, man. Jesus Christ. One of the all-time greatest drawings of Uraraka. Please, for the love of God, Bones, drop the Genga of this. I need the Gengas. I need the Gengas for this entire sequence, if I'm being honest, man. But this shot in particular, I need the fucking Genga for. Please, Bones, drop the Genga. Release the Genga. Hopefully this is part of the Gengas they released for this episode, which I think they used to do on Instagram, I think. But hopefully we get the Genga for this very soon. And I want the Genga. Give me the Genga, you bastards. Anyway, just like in the manga, man. Also, one other thing I wish got expanded upon, and I think people were it needs to get expanded the volume extras when the volume had come, but it didn't. And I was kind of hoping they would expand on it here, and once again they didn't. Where where Izuku and Uraraka talk, and then the rest of Class A, these fucking cockroaches, these parasites, ruin the fucking moment and come in there and be oh, Uraraka, I'm honestly joking. But they come in there, man. Of course, Sue is crying, be Uraraka, done you're going through something, tell us, etc., blah, 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 blah. But anyway, when we cut to that, Izuku is floating, when before in the previous shot, Izuku is still standing. I wish they explained why Izuku's ram. I mean, obviously, yes, they're grabbing hands against, so obviously her quirk, there's a good chance her quirk activates just by itself. But I kind of wish they actually showed that rather than just cutting to it, man, where Izuku's standing, then he's floating randomly. I just kind of wish they got a little expandable where we actually saw how that happened. But regardless, man, the rest of Class A come in there, man. They do their thing. We see the final ember of One For All fade away. Baku out to if it's a curry. Everyone's oh, what's this ember you mean by it? Smell the beans, etc. Then we head over to Monomo where he had a good look at his new statue. And then we end the episode off with Aoyama's farewell part, as long as Eri singing a song, and she's so fucking cute here, man, seriously. And that leads us over to the episode. Also, fun fact. Also, well, not fun fact. In case you guys did not know, David and Emily are getting married. Like, if you guys did not know, David recently, I think it was also Emma as well. I think they both posted on their Instagram that David actually proposed to her, and they're now engaged. So congrats to them, man. Todoroki is now officially marrying Harry. Well, but yeah, congrats to them, man. I'm gonna be honest. I thought they were already married. Like, I legit thought they were already married, but no, they were just dating. So shout out to David. So shout out to them, man. Good for them. Anyway, guys, so yeah, that's when the episode ends. We get the next episode. Before we get the next episode preview, we get a quick post-credit scene of this random kid coming out, snipping something. And he's coming out, man. We see this purple mist coming out of his hands, wondering why me. Who is this kid? Who is this psychopath? Next villain that's going to rise, and we're going to see a quick fight in the next episode or something? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see next week. But yeah, we see this kid's rocking, like, for the next episode, we see this kid's rocking some sort of like scarecrow or like straitjacket thing going on there, man. I'm not entirely sure what's up with this kid, man, or why he's coming out of this like destroyed building. But maybe we'll find out next week. And it looks like, I'm pretty sure next week the final episode expands a lot on 430. The final chapter that dropped in the actual like Shonen Jump magazine, because 431 was a volume exclusive to the final volume of the series, man. But it looks like they expand on this, because if I remember correctly, and now I don't know for sure because like I said, I'm an anime only, but I don't think they ever showed anything of them being third years, them graduating, or any of this was in the manga. I'm pretty sure all of this, them graduating as third years, man, all of this is new content. This is all new original content, man. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not, and I'm pretty sure all of this
Here we go.
This is all in this is all new. This is
Here is good.
It's all new stuff. I could be wrong. But yeah, that's where we leave the episode off, man. Phenomenal episode, man. Let me answer the question, because I'm sure you guys have. This is my new favorite episode. Before I 6.30 going into the show. And I'm gonna be honest, at first,
I'll be watching.
I wasn't sure. Like, I thought at worst this was either second. It was like the second.
Careful! Enemies ahead! Oh! Level up! The enemy's attacking! Watch out! Not yet! Not fast! Enemy attack! Stay alert!
And because if I go into the shot, it's a 10!
Mind your surroundings. We're under attack.
Yeah. Not enough recovery items. Took down an enemy. No biggie. I got it. Now! Got it! Got it!
Not good.
Disarmed an enemy. On to the next.
Everyone's in the safe areas. We really are amazing.